What is up, Amy?
So basically, my family is Catholic, and my long-term boyfriend, technically my fiance, is Muslim, and we want to get married.
Sweet. This is going to be an awesome call. All right. Yes. So how can I help? So he's your fiance. He asked you to marry him, and you said yes?
Yeah, and I still haven't told my family. I don't know how to tell them. I've already introduced them to each other
How'd that
a
go?
while ago.
How did that go?
So in person, they were welcoming and charming and this and that, and then I visited them a couple days later, and they were like, "What the hell was that? What do you think you're doing?
Yes.
Bringing a Muslim into this household? We thought we raised you better, this and that." And to me, I was just totally blindsided. I had no idea that they would react that way.
Yeah, for sure. So, are you a practicing Catholic, or are you more of a Catholic in practice?
In theory,
You're a theoretical Catholic. Okay.
Yeah.
You know how to go up and down and do all the stuff in the service, but you
Right.
don't. Okay. All
right.
And so is your fiance, is he a practicing Muslim? Are you going to have to convert, or is he in like you are to Catholicism, is he that way to the Muslim faith?
Yeah, kind of. There's no pressure, but I'm pretty sure once we settle down and have kids, we'll probably raise them Muslim, just because I don't really connect with Catholicism at all. So
Okay.
But yeah, to me, religion is just it doesn't matter that much.
Okay. So why are you giving your parents a vote? Why do you care?
It's not so much that I'm giving them my decision is made. I'm gonna marry him. But at the time, they were giving me this ultimatum of you need to choose it's either us or him. And I was trying to kind of take a third route, hey, I choose me. I choose what makes me happy. And they turned it around on me, oh, so you think you can't be happy without us?
So here's the deal. They put an ultimatum on you, but it's not really that. They gave the ultimatum. And so They said him or us. And you chose him. And so that's going to be uncomfortable and frustrating and gnarly and heartbreaking and sad and fill in the blank. But that just is. How old are you?
25.
25? Yeah, you're a grown New York woman. You're one of the most powerful people on planet Earth. I know some really extraordinary New York women, and they are awesome, and they are not to be reckoned with, and they are brilliant and smart and kind, and they know what they want. And your parents gave you an ultimatum. They said him or us, and you chose him. Ta-da!
Yeah,
so when I say it like that, you don't like that. How come?
It's just the whole situation. It's my whole life. I've kind of been the image of the perfect daughter, and I hate disappointing my parents. And I don't want the ultimatum to end up with me actually losing them. Right now, we're kind of at a place of don't ask, don't tell. I don't tell them about him, but they don't ask me about him.
Yeah, but that's you living this mirage. That's this fantasy, Amy. And in many ways, you're diminishing your integrity. To be more blunt, you're lying to your family. And in order to keep the peace, you're choosing to keep a massive part of you, the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You're already talking about kids, how you're going to raise those kids. You're being dishonest with them. And so what I don't want you to do is to take a moment where they showed their cards, they showed who they were, they showed their character. Our faith is more important than you, right? So you're going to be on board with our faith, or you're not going to be with us. And you chose, okay, cool, I call your bluff. But I don't want you to then show your character by then lying about it. You made your decision. And the reality is you stood by your values. And when we stand by our values, it often hurts. It often costs us something. The sucky part about our current ecosystem with social media is that we feel like we live our values by thumbs downing the crap out of something, right? And we forget that when Dr. King marched across the bridge, he thought he was going to die, but it was worth it to him, right? So that's an extreme example of living your values, but our values cost us something. And in this case, your parents, they showed their values, our way, our faith, or we're done with you. My guess is that they're not going to be done with you, but you've always been the perfect daughter. They think that by leaning on you in a heavy way, that you'll come back around. And here's the other thing. I want to give them some grace on this. And I know this is going to cost me, people are going to send me mean emails and letters. I believe it was Penn or Teller. It was one of the famous magicians in Las Vegas. Let's just say it was Penn, but I don't remember which one. Is a famous atheist. Is that the tall one, James? Tall, yeah. Really, the interviews I've seen with him, the things I've read, he's extraordinary. He's a brilliant man. He's a kind thinker. But he told a story about, he's a devout atheist too, by the way. He told a story about meeting a guy backstage who was talking to him about what a great show he had just seen, what a great magic show. The guy was talking about how impressed he was. They talked shop about technique and things like that. And the guy said, "Hey, I've just got to put it out there. I'm a Christian, and I'd love for you to come to church with me tomorrow here in Vegas. And I just want you to know I love you." And this atheist, don't say devout, but this atheist said he was so touched and moved because the guy wasn't trying to move, wasn't trying to, this wasn't a move. He didn't hand him a bunch of tracts. Wasn't trying to beat him up with, he was just saying, "Hey, I love you and I care about your future. I care about your soul. And I want you to know that you're welcome to join me." And what Penn said that stuck with me was when true believers, people who stick by their faith and they believe it to the core of their being, it's to them like somebody's in a street and a truck is coming at them. And they push that person out of the way to save them from that truck. And Penn said, "I don't believe what that guy was telling me. I don't buy it. But I really am grateful that he saw me and thought I was going to get hit by a truck, and he thought enough of me to push me out of the way." And so I tell you that story to tell you this. Your parents may be super devout Catholics, and in their heart and mind, however right, wrong, misguided, honest, true, whatever word you want to put there, they believe that if you marry somebody who's a Muslim, your eternal soul is at stake. The same as your fiancé's family might feel that if him as a Muslim marries a Christian, he was to convert to Catholicism, that his actual eternity would be at stake. I would hope they would speak up. I'd hope they'd speak up in love, and I'd hope they'd speak up directly and firmly and with care, but I'd hope they'd speak up because they care that much about my eternal soul. And then I hope they would continue to love me. And that's the decision all people of faith have to make when they speak up, right? And so think of it this way, that your parents are trying to love you the best they know how. They're trying to care for their baby girl who's 25, right? You're a grown-up, but in your eyes, they're always going to be 7, and they're always going to love you. But they're trying to love you the best they can, and they may just be concerned for your eternal soul. However wrong you think that is, however goofy you think that is. And so in their way of trying to love you, they said, it's either him or us, you chose him. And so just know that all you can control is what you can control. You made your decision. Don't let your integrity sag when it comes to protecting and trying to keep the peace there. Be honest with them, be upfront with them, and tell them that you still desire a relationship with them even though they gave that ultimatum. And then you're going to have to live by that decision. And that's going to be hard, Amy. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely.
And so you love this dude?
Absolutely.
He treats you right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I want you to remember that moment. Remember the values line that you drew. Somebody said either or, you chose or, and now we're going to all live with the consequences. Every one of us has values. Is at some point going to be called on the carpet, myself included. And people of faith who reach out and say, I'm terrified for X, Y, and Z, thank them because they're trying to shove you out of a truck they see coming your way. Even if you don't believe that truck's coming, trust their hearts and their motives behind that. And, oh man. And then people of faith, speak your heart, speak your mind, and please, please default to love. Relationships and love. Relationships and love.